Z has released some small new sneaks into Discord to hint at what update's coming next. And well, it's pretty interesting. We're getting an entirely new game mode, more than just public servers, ranked, and custom servers. This new game mode is called Roulette, but before I get into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button for even more Jujutsu Shenanigans information and sneak peeks. Now, let's get into the video. The main thing that's been hinted, and the topic of this video, is a Roulette game mode. From the tab that Z showed in his sneak peek, it's going to be fast-paced combat with randomized events, but that's pretty vague. It gets cleared up when you look at some footage found in the stream though, which pretty clearly demonstrates what Roulette is. I saw these in a video by a guy named Steermed to give credit, and I'm assuming these were streamed by Z in the Discord. Anyways, from what's shown here, Roulette is at its core just a bunch of minigames that people can vote on, before competing to win these different minigames. There's 3 game modes that we know for sure. The first is Capture the Strongest, which is basically just King of the Hill. If you successfully stand at the point for long enough, the point here being the prison realm, then you do an animation before getting infinite ultimate and the ability to change your base form at will, which I'm assuming then gives you the task of slaughtering every other player in the server to win the game. The other game modes are Brain Swap, which is basically an elimination game mode where everyone has their movesets shuffled around, and a basic first to 20 kills game mode where everyone has increased damage and reduced cooldowns to make the process go faster, and not be as tedious as it would be in a public server. Other information from the stream shows that there are rewards for winning the game modes, which aren't huge, but are at least something to make it feel like you're gaining something from wins. The rewards aren't going to be a sole reason to play the game mode, which should stop people from teaming since it'd be faster to just gank in public servers, but they will serve as an additional reward for winning that'll just be a nice prize, which I think is perfectly fine. As for my thoughts on the game modes, they work well too. Capture the Strongest should be chaotic enough with people all swarming to stand in one spot. Brain Swap might be a bit boring since it seems to be elimination based and nobody likes sitting there eliminated waiting for the game to end. And first to 20, like Capture the Strongest, should just be plenty of dumb fun for people to go around rushing to gain kills. Now, let's go theorize about some other things that we can tell from Z's other sneak peeks. First, Z said he'll be adding in one new character specifically for the Roulette game mode. This character will not have an ultimate, so it won't be a fully fleshed out character, which makes sense since that'd be far too much work for something limited to a single game mode. From the sneak Z showed before, my guess is that this character will be the Finger Bearer, and while yes, he did say it was not the next character, it's likely that he meant that as in it's not the next main character, in the same way that Mahito or Megumi are characters. With how little content there is to work with for the Finger Bearer, while at the same time, a decent amount, 4 moves would work fine. Plus, he's not an important enough character where locking him into a single game mode would piss anyone off or anything, unlike if you made some popular character like Kashimo or Higuruma exclusive to the game mode. We can also tell from this screenshot and the message Z says that one of the game modes might have an emphasis on parkour. A parkour-based game mode absolutely fits the game since Jujutsu Shenanigans has a very unique parkour system that works well, and I can absolutely see this being a very fun thing to play through, however Z decides to make the parkour. Finally, we get to see the stage where Geto gave his little speech and killed that one dude who I completely forgot the name of if it was ever mentioned. Honestly speaking, I can't tell anything from this. The emote Z is using looks like it's a new emote, so that's one piece of new content we're shown at the very least, unless I'm dumb and it's something that already exists. Now, that's the limit of what I can tell from just the sneaks, so we're going really deep into theory territory now to talk a bit more about how the Curse Bearer minigame might work. First, with the new character that's exclusive to the game mode, I see 2 possibilities. Either it'll be some free-for-all, with everyone locked into one character, which could also work with other characters, or more likely, it'll be a boss fight, with the Finger Bearer player having some crazy buffed up stats and a buffed up moveset, while everyone has to jump the crap out of it to win, kind of like a Juggernaut game mode. Now, to be honest, a boss fight game mode where everyone has to jump one player might not work great in JJS, since the game, at least from my experience playing, doesn't handle jumpings well. Mahoraga players who have gone jumped by the whole server know exactly what I mean, but in essence, getting jumped usually leaves you unable to fight back, even with the burst mechanic, and you can't pull off any combos since they'll just get interrupted. That's not to say this can't be fun though, and I absolutely see a boss fight game mode being insanely chaotic, especially if friendly fire is enabled because of how stupid, or rather because of how JJS players don't care too much about optimization, except for the sweats who need to go outside and take a walk. people are all going to be jumping the Juggernaut at once. They won't be taking turns or being careful not to hit each other. No, everyone is realistically going to swarm the Finger Bearer player and end up creating an absolute crowd crush that should be chaotic enough to loop around and be fun. That's just my 2 cents on it. Having a new game mode getting added to the game is great in the first place. Ranked is incredibly dry, and while public servers have enough elements that they can't get old necessarily, there's still a limit to how much fun you can get out of just running around and fighting people. I'm really excited to have a new game mode that introduces new and more fun ways to play the game, and I think Z's got a good idea with the Roulette game mode. It's also unique as well, since I haven't seen any other Battleground games try anything even remotely similar to this, but while it is sort of stepping into uncharted territory, meaning that it can either be a hit or miss with no guarantee, I have a feeling it's going to be a hit, mostly because Z's just always been able to cook up great updates that end up being a lot of fun, and also because the randomized minigame format, with games like Epic Minigames, is usually pretty enjoyable. Though I'll have to wait and see how it meshes with Jujutsu Shenanigans' own unique mechanics. Now with that, we're at the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching, then make sure to subscribe because it really helps me out, and thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I'm Eternally, have a great day, and I'll see you next time in another video. Bye.